and gentlemen, a warm welcome, please, for the comedy of Patrick Tomlinson.
There we go. There's a microphone again. How we all doing, guys? How we doing, Zanies? Yes! Guys, thank you so much for coming out on a Monday night. This is my first time here, and so I'm glad to be able to see, well, the four of you in the front row that I can see. And everybody else too, or just kind of vague outlines of human beings as far as I can tell with the lights in my face. But anyway, yeah. So, yeah, my name is Patrick Tomlinson. I am actually a full-time sci-fi author. That's what I do. My debut novel came out in November. It's called the... Thank you. It's called The Ark. It's a murder mystery set on a generation ship. You can find it on Amazon.
Sweet.
On your smartphones. I can wait. He said I can go as long as I want up here. I'm kidding. I brought copies I'm going to force you to buy later. So, I was almost late getting here though, because as you said, I came down from Milwaukee. I was on the interstate and I got stuck behind a Prius in the fast lane, who had apparently not gotten the memo on the 70-mile-an-hour limit, which is fine. I don't think that it was the first time that it happened to her though, because like she was courteous enough to have supplied me with a library of bumper stickers for me to peruse. So that was nice. I had some entertainment. A couple you've probably seen, maybe not. Let me know. The one said, "I'm already against the next war." All right. What if the next war is against the Independence Day aliens? So you just, Bill Pullman's going to be on the fighter jet giving his big inspirational speech. You're back there with your little sign says "E.T.'s okay with me." Like, no, come on. Don't. No. Just wait to see who we're fighting. I don't know. Just hold your horses. I know you've all seen this one, the coexist sticker. Yeah, comes standard on all new Subarus. That one. Yeah. If you haven't seen it, it's just all the major world's religious symbols, and they're arranged in a way to spell out the word coexist, which is fine. I am completely behind that sentiment. I just don't want to stay behind it while it's doing 55 miles an hour in the fast lane. I guess she was just afraid of drifting too far to the right. Speaking of drifting too far to the right, Donald Trump is leading the Republican race for the president right now, you guys. I can't even articulate how terrified that makes me. This whole election season is just absolutely crazy. You got Trump up there, and like people are dropping out like flies. Like just as soon as Chris Christie dropped out, the governor of New Jersey, he dropped out and endorsed Donald Trump after mistaking his hair for a plate of sweet potato fries. He had to pay the $1 upcharge for it and everything. But it's. Then Ben Carson dropped out and then immediately came back and endorsed Donald Trump, probably figuring that if anybody needs a brain surgeon, that'd be him, and all of his followers could really benefit from Ben Carson's services. And it's just so weird because the number 2 guy is Ted Cruz, right? And we're in such a weird place in our politics right now that there's an internet campaign out there right now trying to convince people that Ted Cruz is the real Zodiac killer. That's a thing that's happening. Which is bullshit, because obviously the real Zodiac killer is cancer. Oh, thank you for being a smart audience. I was hosting at a comedy cafe up in Milwaukee last weekend, and it was St. Patty's, and so everybody was drunk. But I said, "Cancer," and they all looked at me like, I'm like, okay, I know that's funny, so let's see where you guys screwed up. Is it too dark? Raise your hands. No? Okay. Did you not know that the cancer is a sign of the zodiac? Raise your hands. Okay, there's the problem. There's the problem. I don't know. One good thing about Ted Cruz is he is super, super anti-immigration, which I think is wonderful, because we cannot, as a country, afford another immigration crisis like the one that gave us Ted Cruz. It's just not something that I think we can survive, you know? He's Canadian and his father was Cuban. But anyway, But then, but like even like that's just secondary to the fact that we have a reality TV star like who's running for president. I actually want him to stick around. I want Trump to keep this going for a little while, just so we can see, Celebrity Apprentice Vice President edition. I really want to see him go through, like, bring back all the old favorites, like Gary Busey and Dennis Rodman on a stage arguing over free trade policies and the Iran nuclear deal. I want that in my life. I want to see that happen. A lot of crazy stuff's been said this campaign season. Like Nikki Haley, she's the Republican governor of South Carolina. She came out right after the State of the Union address in the official rebuttal and said something that kind of blew my mind a little bit. She said, "In the entire history of our country, we have never written a law based on race." Now, I think she's wrong, but I'm only like 3/5 sure, That joke also didn't work in Milwaukee. Had to explain, yeah. I'm like, this is a college town. There's 3 colleges within... I don't know. I tell you what I am like 90% sure of though. Donald Trump is just Violent J from the Insane Clown Posse without his makeup on. I'm almost 100% sure of that. Frickin' magnets, how do they work? That just sounds like something he'd say at a rally while all of his followers are like shotgunning Strawberry Faygo, beating up a brown person in the mosh pit. That just seems like the sort of thing that would happen. It's funny because I had somebody come up to me after the last set of shows I did, the last weekend I did, and I was selling some of my books afterwards, and one of the people came up who was kind of an obvious Trump supporter. I could tell because the entire show he was sitting in the front row like this. Anyway, so he came up to me. He's like, you're trying to be a public figure here. You're trying to be as popular as you can and have as wide a reach as you can. And so I just wanted to know, I wanted to hear it from you. If you're worried that, you shitting on like one of the biggest, most popular presidential candidates, if you're not afraid that might alienate, some people who might want to buy your books and might. Cost you some sales and cost you some money, take some money out of your pocket. I'm like, well, sir, as you can see, it's not a coloring book. So no, not really that worried about it. Sign it in crayon if you want. It did give me a great idea for my next novel, though. It would be a comprehensive history of dick pics, a pop-up book. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Just kind of wear goggles. Just put it in there. Boy. I don't know. I hate abortion clinic protesters. I hate them. I absolutely hate them. There's an abortion clinic, women's health clinic not too far from where I live, and I pass it all the time because it's on like a main street. And there's no matter what time of day, no matter what time of week, there are people standing out there, protesting the thing, and it's always these like old guys who have like these Grizzly Adams beards. Looks like they're just got done shotgunning and an old English, 1300 or something. And like one was holding a sign. It was like, "Women regret abortions." I'm like, okay, you couldn't find one to hold your sign for you? Like, yeah! Just, these women are coming into this clinic making the most difficult decision they will ever face. I don't think they need to be getting life advice from a guy who doesn't have a job, so he's able to protest an abortion clinic at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Tuesday. You don't make good life decisions, okay? Conceptually, tactically, I don't understand why Republicans are against abortion. Like, morally, whatever, fine. But just from a political standpoint, I don't understand it. It's like, Let's say it actually happens. Let's say they sweep through, they get the presidency, they got both houses of Congress, they stack the Supreme Court, and Roe v. Wade goes down, and abortions are illegal everywhere, and just women just stop having them. You mean to tell me, guys, that you really believe that now all of these inner city women who are, going to have to be single mothers coming up through a system where they're working 60 hours a week at a minimum wage job where you haven't allowed them to get a raise in 30 years, and now so they're raising these kids using welfare benefits and food stamps, which now you're telling them they have to take a drug test and piss in a cup to continue getting? Do you really think that they're going to raise kids who are going to have the same voting patterns as a white Lutheran from Lubbock, Texas? Do you really? No, you're going to create 1 million new Democrats a year. It's just nonsensical to me. The only reason I can think of that Republicans are against aborting black babies is because they want the chance to shoot them once they're teenagers. That's the only... Too true, I'm sorry. The one black guy thinks it's funny, so... I know you can't see him, but he's like... I actually feel bad now. Yeah. Oh, boy. Okay. So, what do you... Regroup, yeah. You're right. So, okay, so what do you call a group of crows, everybody? Do you know?
Murder!
A murder, correct, yeah. Do you know what you call a group of white crows?
Murder is a...
No, insufficient evidence to indict. That's what you call them. Are we voting this time, folks? Are we going to vote in this election? Everybody, please tell me you're going to vote.
Can't vote.
You can't vote? Excellent. Woo! I thought you were from Utah. What are you... Okay. Whatever. No, I vote every time. I vote every single time. It doesn't matter. Just like about a month ago, there was a judicial election up in Wisconsin, and I voted for that at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I was the 4th person to have come in there in a major U.S. city. So I guess it's fine. But I don't know that I care so much about the process. I just really want to get that I voted sticker. It actually translates to "I'm better than you." That's what that says. But I don't wear it that day. I save them, and then I wear them on days there isn't an election. Just to fuck with the elderly, just really screw them up, like, was there an election today? Yeah, there was a referendum to defund Social Security. Didn't you hear about that? We put it all over the internet. You really should have seen. Yeah, we're going to use the money to give gay Syrian immigrants free health care. That's where it's going now. So, thank you so much, everybody. My name is Patrick Tomlinson.